we need those inside practices. I mean, as far as between games to work on the little things. The girls want to get on the diamond, they want to get dirty, they want to practice some of the things we're discussing, and just doing that in live games and just making adjustments in live games is something we have to work on doing as well. But certainly when it comes to breaking things down and really slowing it down and discussing why we're doing something, we benefit from those practices. It also is great for recovery for injuries and arms and just tired players. And so as you get closer to the postseason, you like to see that schedule stretch itself out a little bit so that you have the ability to rest a little bit of the players and also work on some things. And you're seeing that now with this week. We're getting a chance to do that, and that's been a huge benefit to us.
Weeks like that are exhausting because, I mean, games, like, you got to be ready to go, you got to be in a certain mode. Like, it's just exhausting by the time you get to Friday. So, and I miss practicing. Like, I'll go home and hit sometimes just to, like, get some extra work in because it's hard just going out and playing games constantly. Like, it felt weird to practice yesterday because we hadn't practiced in almost 2 weeks, it felt like. So it's definitely weird having
I think most of us would rather have practices during the week. It's really hard physically, but I think it makes you focus more mentally on the game because you know that you haven't been practicing, so we focus more. So, I mean, depends on the way you think about it. It could hurt you or help you, so.
It's a give and a take because I think practices are really important because, that's where you fix all your mistakes and that's where you get better. And so I think game after game after game, you're not improving, you're just getting thrown into those situations. So it's hard to keep your skills going, like where they're at, and improve on the mistakes that you need to. But in the same token, when you have 4 games in 1 week, that one day off is really nice because it's exhausting. And like by the time Friday came, I was dead. I was so tired. And so having Tuesday off was kind of nice in that sense, but it also stinks because like yesterday was our first practice and it felt like forever.
The team interaction is different on game day than it is on practice day, and for team interaction on game day, they're all about business, and you've talked about that with you before, about the girls and their preparation mentally and physically for a game. When we are here at practice, it gives us a chance to check in with the players, talk strategy, but also how are things going, see how they're doing, loosen up things a little bit and have some fun. And it's nice to see them when they're out there in the stacks having a couple of laughs and stretching out a little bit and enjoying the company they have with one another because they've played together for so long.
Yeah, definitely you get to relax more at practice, and like in pregame you want to be focused, you want to be ready to go, and like we try and drill that into the younger girls, and so it's definitely like hard not to have like that relaxing time to just relax and play softball because you have to be like in your ready to go mode constantly with games.
It's going to be a tough game. I'm definitely excited that we're playing like a good team on senior night because they're always like more fun to play than like a team that you're like going to like blow out. But yeah, I'm excited.
I'd rather have a really tough game on senior night to say that we come out and beat them than to have a really easy game because it doesn't make senior night more exciting. And I think having Milford there, it makes everything feel like if we win this, that was the best hurrah that we like have accomplished in ourselves, especially being senior night, having our last hurrah with each other on this home field for the last home game. I think it's just going to make us feel so much, like it's just going to make us feel so like inspired and motivated to just do more.
Yeah, I still can't believe that Thursday senior night, because it felt like a week ago we like had our first game and it definitely flew by, but I'm really ready to play Milford.
It's definitely hard, like doing the senior night ceremony before will be very bittersweet, and then you have to get focused and ready for the game, which is hard, and then afterwards I think it's just going to be a rush of emotions knowing that the regular season's over.
I think it's going to be a really weird game, I think, and especially for the seniors because it is senior night, where I think we're all going to be kind of a basket case, but not in a bad way. I think we're going to have a million emotions going on at once. We're going to have the excitement of the game because it's against Milford, of all people, so having lost to them, we're going to have fire to want to beat them again. But we're also going to be sad and happy and, choked up and all of these things. So it's going to be really hard to stay focused on the game, but especially because against Milford, I think that's going to help keep us in the game. But it's going to be a weird, emotional game, and it's going to be, really important to stay focused.
I definitely think that since we have all played together since Babe Ruth, since like 6U, 8U, playing on this field and not playing on it again, it's going to be really hard and it's going to be emotional. And I think that only thing we can do is just put everything that we have done and practiced throughout our entire lives on this field is on this field, and just to play with our ability and our energy and our positivity. And I think that having senior night and the emotion, I think it's just going to make us want it.
I've been struggling with it all week, and I've been struggling with it all week for a lot of reasons. On a personal side, because of Michaela and my connection with my bond with her, because it happened out here on the field. That's how we became who we are. That's our identity, and we'll always be father-daughter. But we have a special connection because of softball. So that'll be hard for me because it's almost a passing of that. For the other girls, my day-to-day contact and interaction with them has been very, very special, and it'll be really hard for me to say goodbye to them. Senior night is kind of that. We say our goodbyes then because we know when the postseason comes it could happen at any minute.
Yeah, I definitely think, because we all want to beat Milford really bad, and especially because it's senior night, so I think that's going to get us all fired up and want to win instead of lose.
I think it's great to have a tough team on senior night. Makes it a good game because there'll be a lot of people here to watch.
I'm very excited to play them again and to get that revenge, but it also is sad because you want to be able to enjoy your senior night and enjoy the ceremony where I know I'm going to be focused and getting ready for the game, and it's going to be not as emotional because I won't let myself get as emotional.
Coaches talk about it every day. The coaching staff spends an immense amount of time looking at seeding and how things would land, right? We really want our Final Four matchup to look a certain way to best suit our team and best odds of getting to the final game. But we don't talk about it with the players. There's no need to talk about it with the players. I don't want them to be hung up on that. We talk about finishing strong, and we talk about finishing in the division and completing our job. They don't discuss it, at least not openly with the team. They've sort of left that alone. They know there's a lot of things going on. Today's an example of that. There are a number of games taking place in the division. They're going to rattle the top end, right? We know that we're probably likely to finish in the top 4 at this point. And so because of that, we don't need to talk about that. We'll see what number it is. It's not likely that it'll be 1. Wyndham seems to have that all sewed up no matter what happens. So at this point, it could be 2 through 4, and we're going to see what our fate is based upon what our opponents.
And welcome to Goffstown High School for today's girls softball game featuring the Milford Spartans and your Goffstown Grizzlies. Today's game is a very special one. Bernard, please enter the pitching circle. Our first senior is second baseman, number 2, Kayla Fleming, and she is joined by her parents, Amy and Matt.
It was really emotional for me, mostly for him, really, I think, because, my parents were, my mom was too, but they were really the ones that got me into this, and it was really hard for me to, not be upset, but we also had a big game, and it was Milford, and we really needed to beat them and to stay second, and I just it took everything inside me to just compose myself and to because I know if I allowed myself to just be emotional, then it would just carry into the game, and I couldn't have that. So I just supported my parents, and I just thank them for everything that they've done for me and to keep me in this and not to give up on me when I was little, and I hated it so much, and yeah, it was tough.
Our second senior, who is graduating this year, is catcher Livy St. Jean, number 4. She is joined by her mom, Katie, and her dad, Craig. Our third senior is number 7, shortstop Jasmine Cologne. She is joined by her parents, Kristen and Jason. And introducing Jasmine is Taylor Gagnon. Our fourth senior is pitcher Emma Campbell, number 11. And she is joined by her mom, Colleen. And unfortunately, her dad, Mark, could not be here today, but I'm sure he wished he could be.
I didn't exactly know how I was gonna feel during it, you know, everything that was happening. And it was kind of a weird feeling because you're always the one, you know, handing the flowers to the seniors, and then to receive the flowers, it was just kind of like, oh, this is weird, you know. And it's kind of a reality, like, oh, I'm the senior this year. This is my last game ever, you know, regular season. So it was a really weird feeling.
Our fifth senior is number 15, pitcher Anna Strong, and she is joined by her mom, Heather, and her dad, John.
It didn't really like feel like senior night to me. Like, I don't know, I guess it just didn't sink in yet. Like, it just felt like I was staying out there and everyone's like, oh, it's senior night. But
Would Kate Mazurski please enter the circle? And lastly, our sixth senior is number 72 right fielder Nikki Anderson, and she is joined by her parents, Barbara and Rob.
It's very weird because I've done a lot of senior nights and put on senior nights, so it was weird to have it being done for me, and it was great to see like the support from my team. They did an amazing job, and it was funny because my mom bawled her eyes out. It was hilarious actually, but it was surreal a little bit to be a senior and do that.
Yeah!